No, I love curry. All right. Okay. Okay. And all right. Here we go. Do you believe that a multicultural presence should be celebrated and incorporated into every fabric of the curriculum in every department on the university?
Yes, that's a short answer. Easy. Absolutely. How are you going to learn unless you learn to live with people? Of course. Of course. You know, if I took another step, I would say that probably, I hate to find myself agreeing with Arnold Schwarzenegger because he's a terrible man, I think, stupid governor of California. But he said every child in America should read, should swim. And I thought, okay, Arnold, you're right on that. They should learn to swim by kindergarten. They should learn one other language. My preference right now would be Chinese, because we're going to be dealing with the Chinese for such a long time. And I'm a big fan of Spanish, and I spent a lot of time in Mexico, and I'll be glad when Mexico is a safer place to visit. But I think it would be a good thing, your kindergarten, start Chinese. You know, start it right now, one Mandarin or anything, so that you can talk to our counterparts. And I think that would be a really good thing. So by the time you get to college, you're used to diverse people. You know, you're used to different people, different religions. I can't believe that son of a bitch Peter King is holding hearings on American Muslims. By what right does he accuse these people of disloyalty? The same thing they did with the Japanese. Somebody else said, you know, Joseph MacArthur must be just turning over in his grave like, yes, I'm winning. That you're actually questioning people. The only thing that you have to go on is that they're brown and they believe in a different God. Give me a break. You know, that guy should have been shut down. Obama should have spoken out against it. He should have. It's a witch hunt. And it puts in danger the lives of brown children particularly. Because some good old boy will think, well, I'm doing a good job. I'm going to go beat this kid up, or I'm going to go shoot this kid. He's an enemy of the state. He'll be a 12-year-old boy. Some mother will lose her son or daughter. And his excuse will be, well, I thought he was a radical. I mean, you know,
right.
It's not right.
It's not right. I wanted to talk a little bit about your poetry and your work. As far as the work itself, do you feel that it's sort of a roadmap of not so much just your life, but maybe the young African-American woman or whoever, male, can look at that work and say, okay, someone has written about me or understands me?
Well, that'd be very nice. I've tried to be an honest broker, and I've tried to share what I've learned. So that'd be very nice if somebody could look at that and start where I'm ending. I don't know where I'm going to end. You know, I hope I'll be around a little while. But I know that my work on middle passage and space is important. And I know that it's good for the humanities kids to do it, but it'd be incredible to get like one of the physics kids involved and things like that. I'm always happy to teach the kids from physics, engineering, and stuff, because we have this gem right here, and we don't know how to polish it. But we need to look at it from all angles, because this is going to be key 21st century.
Okay.
No question.
All right, and one last question. Did universities and individuals keep their promises and commitments that they made during the civil rights struggle? Or are there just a few remnants of the original vision?
I don't think that they have, I don't think any institution, and I keep coming back to the presidency because we have a man of color in the presidency that everybody seems to think, oh, well, that means that you all are equal. You know, I don't think that any institution has kept its promise. I think the only thing that kind of comes close to keeping its promise is the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. And right now we have allowed the right wing to hijack the Constitution. They're always talking about, let's read the Constitution. That's like, let's read the Bible, but you always start with the Old Testament, so by the time you get to the New Testament, you're tired. And we're supposed to be Christians, so let's start with the New Testament and go forward. Let's start with those first 10 amendments, because the first 10 are incredibly important. When we get to 13th, 14th, and 15th, of course, that's going to be about people of color. And that's just going to be amplifying what the first 10 have said about freedom, about how we conduct our business. The Second Amendment does not say you have a right to own a Glock. It just doesn't. It says that the right of the people to defend themselves. This is a state militia. It has nothing to do with individuals owning guns. That's why you have those National Guard. The National Guard was never intended to fight wars. The National Guard is there to get grandma out of the attic when there's a storm. So we spoke of it earlier, though, but if you look at what happened with Katrina, if the National Guard hadn't been trying to fight a war, they would have been there to help keep that city safe and keep it clear and save some of those people that we didn't save.
Right.
But the National Guard is fighting a war because nobody wants to admit that we are at war. They don't want to declare it, and they don't want to send their sons and daughters because they should be subject. The rich and the poor should be treated alike. Their justice is blind. And so we should have a draft. If you're going to have a war, you have a draft. And if you're going to have a war, you have a war tax so that everybody pays for the war. It's running the country into the ground.
Yes.
This is what's bankrupting us. It's not the unions. And they tried to obscure that. They tried to change the language. They actually had an election over the health care bill when the election should have been over 2 wars we're fighting. And what is called secret war in Pakistan, but it's not secret to the Pakistanis who are being killed by us. So that's, no. The institutions are no better than the people, and the people are a piece of crap right now. The people haven't done their job. The government has not done its job. And the man we elected to make a change did not make a change, but continued the same. And that's been disappointing. That's been a heartbreak.
Okay. Can I ask one more question? Okay. My experience, and this is a personal question, is that black students at WashU, there's a resistance of a reminiscent isolation and non-inclusion that I feel like my mother felt 40 years ago. Do you feel that that's true?
Well, no. I don't know WashU that well. You know, I've visited, I've spoken out there. I'm not a student, so I don't know Virginia Tech that well. I don't know if you talked to Kalila today, but I don't know if you would talk to some of our students of color if they feel that way. I do know that help is where you find it. And you can't be blind to receiving help from anyone, no matter what their color, no matter what their gender, no matter what their religion. If somebody's reaching out to help you, that's who you need to check in with. And you mentioned, which we won't mention, but you mentioned a favorite professor who you thought you had a connection to. You need to stay connected to that person, no matter who else is running what. You need help. One of the reasons that so many people love Jenny is that Jenny is an incredibly helpful person. She's helped Leela, she's helped people that you don't know, and she's reached out. And that's what you're trying to get done. That's what you're trying to get done, to find the people who help you. And you can't do that blind. You can't say, well, I only want colored women. I only want, none of that. We're all individuals. We're all on this earth, and we're all struggling. So get the help wherever you can get it.
Great. Yeah. All right. Would you like to say something to the audience?
Like?
Just welcome to Sankofa.
Welcome to Sankofa. I'm Nikki Giovanni. Welcome to Sankofa.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
And that's the end.
Let me see if I can paint you for your mother.